Hi everybody. Today I want to talk to you about a really cool bird. I know I say that about all birds because all birds are cool in their own way. This is a really truly an amazing bird. Does anybody know what bird this is that you're looking at? Yeah, you're probably right. It is a hummingbird. And how do you know it's a hummingbird? Well, the big giveaway is look at that really, really long beak, right? The beak is going to be going into that flower, deep in the flower. And what's it going to get? It is going to pull up nectar with its tongue. And we're going to get to that in a second here. But hummingbirds are truly such amazing birds that you could spend a really long time talking about all the amazing adaptations that they have. We're just going to focus on a few this morning. Now, the first thing I want to show you is this is a hummingbird skull. Now remember, my skulls are not real, they're fake, right? But it looks exactly like the real hummingbird. And if you can see here, this is a quarter. Can you see the size of it compared to a quarter? If I pick it up, you actually won't be able to see the head at all. So I'm going to put it on a quarter here. And can you see, look how small that is based on a quarter. I'm going to put a dime here. Look how small this is compared to a dime, right? The skull is smaller. The skull itself, the head part, is smaller than a dime. But look how long that beak is, right? That's a really long, narrow beak that has to get all the way into those flowers to get that nectar. Let me show you a picture of how the hummingbirds get that nectar. Now, up until very, very recently, scientists thought, and this is what I've been teaching for 20 years, is that the hummingbird will take its tongue and go into the flower to get nectar and suck up the nectar just like a straw. We used to teach that in bird class every day. But new research has shown that that's not the case. What they do is they'll go in with their tongue, and then their tongue actually forks like this. And there's little fringes on each side. The two forks will wrap around the nectar liquid and then pull it out. So let me show you with my hand. It might be easier. So here's the tongue. The tongue's going to go in, going to open up, wrap around the nectar liquid, and then pull it out. And then when it gets back into the beak, it's going to squeeze out the nectar drop just like a sponge and then swallow it. And she or he is going to do this up to 20 times per second. So when I say 1/1000, they've potentially done that 20 times. Just really honestly blows my mind. I just can't even comprehend something like that. But again, let's go back to that beak. So that little tiny, tiny tongue that's in there is rapidly moving. And it's so small, you can't even really see it hardly with your naked eye. It's so small. Now, hummingbirds are huge pollinators, right? It's just like bees or butterflies. When they go in to get, let me show you over here, when they go and get that nectar from the flower, right, they're getting pollen on their mouth and chest area. So when they go from flower to flower, they're transferring that pollen to the next flower and pollinating it. Again, just like bees and hummingbirds, bees and butterflies and other types of pollinators. Now, there's one really cool thing I want to show you. This over here. This is a hummingbird nest. Now, my sister-in-law, Heather, who lives up near Seattle, found this hummingbird nest on her property. And two things. One, oh my goodness, what an amazing find. And two, it is almost impossible to find a hummingbird nest. This was in a fir tree, camouflaged. I have no idea how she saw it, but she saw it and saved it for me so I could show you guys. It's pretty amazing. Just imagine green needles all up and down here with this brown bark in kind of a brown forested area. And the hummingbird nests are really unique in the sense of not only are they super camouflaged, but almost always have brown lichen or kind of a grayish lichen around here to help camouflage in to look just like the bark on a tree. Okay, and I want to show you the size of this. Now I'm going to put a dime in, okay? And you can see now the side here has been damaged. Probably wind, rain, maybe the babies left the nest and kind of pulled it apart. But you can see the dime fits in there pretty well. Now, if I take a quarter, look at this. The quarter doesn't even fit, right? So it is that small. And again, typically this would not be stretched out like this. But another unique thing about the hummingbird nest is that she will line it with lichen and moss, and she's going to take spider webbing, like, silk from a spider web, and she's going to intertwine it in with the grasses and the mosses and the lichen. And this is two things. One, it's to keep the nest really strong. So when she's in it and the baby's in it, it's not going to fall apart. But the other thing is that when the babies grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, this nest is actually going to expand and grow with the babies. Okay, let me show you here. Here is an example of a hummingbird egg. This is not a hummingbird egg, but it's an example of one. It looks just like one, same size and everything, same color pretty much. Maybe sometimes they might have some specks on them, right, to camouflage again in there. I'm going to take a dime. Look how small this is. Okay, the dime is bigger than the egg. The dime is bigger than the egg. Just imagine 2 or 3 eggs in this nest, right? So it's really going to have to expand when those babies grow, because they double their size and weight every couple days when they're eating, and they grow super fast. If you've got 2 or 3 babies in there, that nest is going to have to expand. And it's just absolutely amazing what these nests can do. Now you may think, oh, well, I want to find a hummingbird nest. Well, that's the thing, is that it's really hard to find. And it's mainly because they're so tiny and so small and such well camouflaged. But if you're on a mission and you really want to try to find one, say even in your backyard maybe, or at a local park on the street, if you notice a hummingbird coming and going to a certain tree or space, start watching it. Right? See where it goes. Watch it. If you have binoculars, scan that tree. Maybe you might be able to find it. But you're looking for a camouflaged little round thing with moss and lichen. And in the center, it's going to have really soft materials, right? Maybe from a cotton tree or puffy stuff from a cattail. But they are hard to find. But if you can find one, that would be absolutely amazing. And you know what? If you can get a hummingbird feeder, then you can just watch the hummingbirds when they come and go as well. So anyway, hopefully you will be able to see hummingbirds flying around your backyard or in your neighborhood. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.